Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something pretty exciting, an opportunity that, well, could be more than just a trip. It might just reshape things for you. We're talking about Australia's work and holiday visa.
Yeah.
You know, if you've ever thought about really experiencing a country, not just visiting, but actually like living there, working, immersing yourself, then stick around. This deep dive is basically your shortcut to understanding this pretty extraordinary possibility.
Absolutely. And we're genuinely excited to unpack this one for you today.
Yeah.
Because it really is more than just a long holiday, isn't it?
Right.
This specific visa, it offers this unique mix of adventure, actually getting into the culture, and, practical experience, too. It often goes way beyond what people first think.
Okay.
So our mission today really is to figure out who this is actually for, what you really need to have ready, and maybe share a few insights that aren't always super clear from just reading the official stuff.
Okay, let's dive right in then. Starting basic. What exactly is Australia's work and holiday visa? What makes it different?
Right. So at its heart, it's a temporary visa. It's specifically aimed at younger people.
Okay.
And it lets you work and travel anywhere in Australia for up to 12 months. Now, the big difference, the thing that really sets it apart from a normal tourist visa, is that you legally can work.
Ah, okay. That's key.
That's the absolute key. It's not just about, earning a bit of cash on the side. It means you can properly get a job, integrate, be part of the local scene, the economy.
Right.
And on top of that, you can also study for up to 4 months if you want, and of course travel freely all over Australia.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really powerful way for someone looking to genuinely explore, meet people, make connections, and earn money while doing it. It turns that travel dream into something, well, real. A lived thing.
That really does sound like an amazing opportunity. But who gets to do this? I mean, who specifically qualifies? Are there, common misunderstandings about who can apply?
That's a really important question, yeah, because eligibility is, well, everything here. Generally speaking, it's for people aged between 18 and 30.
18 to 30, okay.
But, and this is a point that often catches people out for some specific countries, that age limit actually goes up to 35.
Oh, really? Up to 35?
Yep. But the absolute must-have, the critical thing, is that your home country has to have a specific work and holiday agreement with Australia.
Right, an official agreement.
Exactly. And we've actually seen some interesting updates recently. Nepal, for instance, is now on the list.
Okay, good to know.
And there's a brand new agreement with India that just started in 2023.
India too, okay.
Yeah. Plus you have long-standing ones like Argentina, Indonesia, China, lots of others. But my best advice here, honestly, always check the full official list on the Australian immigration website.
Good tip.
Because these things can change, agreements get updated, and that's the only place you'll get the absolute latest correct info.
Makes sense. Always go to the source.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the who. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. What does someone actually need? What are the absolute must-haves to even be in the running? Let's talk requirements.
Right. Yeah, because while it sounds fantastic, there are definitely some specific boxes you need to tick. Let's break down the main ones.
Okay.
First, like we said, the age, 18 to 30, or potentially up to 35, depending on your passport.
Got it.
You obviously need a valid passport from one of those eligible countries. Then, English proficiency. This is a big one.
How do they measure that?
Usually, you need to show what they call functional English. Basically, can you handle everyday work and social chats?
Okay.
And you often prove this with tests like PTE or IELTS, those standard international English tests.
I've heard of those.
Okay.
What about things like education or money? Those feel like potential sticking points.
They definitely can be, yeah. So education. You'll typically need to show proof you've finished high school or maybe something higher. And then funds. This is where a lot of questions pop up. You need to prove you have enough money for your stay, specifically at least AUD $5,000.
5,000 Australian dollars.
Right.
Is that strictly enforced?
It is the minimum, yes.
Yeah.
But here's a little insight, something we often see. While $5,000 is the floor, sometimes having a bit more, say closer to $6,000 or $7,000.
And a buffer.
Exactly, a buffer. It just shows a bit more financial stability, not just scraping by. Sometimes it can, unofficially smooth things over or avoid extra questions if your application is borderline in some other way.
Interesting. And does it need to be, cash in the bank?
Generally, yes. Readily accessible funds, not usually based on a job you hope to get once you land.
Gotcha. Okay. What else?
Health. That's important. You'll need health insurance for your stay.
Makes sense.
And depending on your circumstances and country, you might need a health checkup as part of the application.
Okay.
And finally, a couple of specifics. You can't bring dependent children with you on this visa.
Right. No kids.
New kids. And for certain countries, like we mentioned, India and Nepal, there's often an extra step. You might need a letter of support from your own government back home.
A government letter. Okay. That's quite a list. Thanks for that insight on the funds. That's really useful. So, okay, picture this. Someone's got all their documents lined up, checked everything twice. What's the actual application process like? Is it smooth sailing, or are there common tripwires?
Well, it's all handled by Australia's Department of Home Affairs. The good part is you can usually apply online.
Oh, good. That makes it easier.
Yeah, much more accessible.
Yeah.
Now, processing times, they generally say between 2 to 6 weeks.
2 to 6 weeks? That's not too bad.
It's not too bad, and this is a big but that can really vary.
Ah, why is that?
Depends on a few things. How complete and correct your documents are, obviously, that's huge.
Right.
But also, sometimes just the sheer volume of applications they're getting from your particular country at that moment can slow things down.
I see. So be patient.
Definitely be patient. And the biggest mistake people make, rushing it. Missing one tiny detail, forgetting to get a document certified properly, that one small slip-up can add weeks, maybe even months, to the wait time. It's frustrating.
I bet.
So my advice, treat it like the most important job application ever. Double check, triple check everything. Make sure every single document is exactly how they ask for it.
Meticulous is the word.
Absolutely. Then once you do get approved good news, you typically have up to 12 months from that approval date to actually travel to Australia.
Oh, that's helpful. Gives you time to plan.
Exactly. Time to sort things out, save a bit more, maybe book flights.
Okay, great advice on the process. So let's bring it back to our listener. After hearing all this, what does it mean for you listening right now? Is this work and holiday visa the right move for your next adventure? What kind of doors does it really open up?
Look, if you fit that profile, you know, generally young, definitely eager to travel, and crucially, you want that deeper experience of Australia beyond just the tourist trails, then yes, it's an absolutely excellent option.
It sounds like it.
It's not just about seeing the sights. It's about kind of embedding yourself for a bit. And think about this too. It's a really valuable way to get actual Australian work experience on your CV.
Ah, good point. For future plans.
Exactly. If you're maybe thinking about other visas later on, like a skilled work visa, or perhaps studying long-term, having already worked there, having contacts, understanding the work culture, that can be incredibly helpful.
Like a stepping stone.
Precisely. It's like a lower stakes way to test the waters, build a network, see if Australia is really for you long-term, and figure out the job market.
And what kind of work are we talking about? What jobs do people typically find?
Oh, there's a pretty wide range, actually. Hospitality is always huge.
Restaurants, hotels?
Yep. Hotels, restaurants, cafes, bars, always looking for staff. Then there's often a lot of seasonal work, especially on farms.
Fruit picking, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Fruit picking, farm work. It can be tough physically, no doubt, but it's also a really popular way to meet other travelers and, honestly, save quite a bit of money relatively quickly if you're disciplined.
Right. Hard work, but good savings potential.
Construction is another area, retail, working in shops, even sometimes basic office admin roles come up.
So quite varied then.
Very varied. It's a chance to pick up real-world skills, sometimes in areas you wouldn't expect, and you definitely build a certain resilience and adaptability that you just don't get from a 2-week holiday.
For sure. So to sum it up then, Australia's work and holiday visa, it really offers this pretty unique package deal, doesn't it? Travel, work, and that deep dive into the culture. Experiencing Australia from the inside, not just looking through the window.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And, you know, beyond just the practical side, the money, the job experience, these kinds of international work and travel stints, they're just so powerful for personal growth.
Yeah.
Well, they push you out of your comfort zone, right? You have to figure things out, solve problems on the fly, communicate across cultures. It really sharpens your skills and broadens your whole perspective on the world. That can have a massive impact long after you've come home.
Absolutely. So here's something to think about. Imagine how a year spent working, traveling, living somewhere totally new. How that couldn't just add stamps to your passport, but maybe genuinely change how you see yourself and the world, maybe even set you off on a completely different path. Lots to consider there. Thanks so much for joining us for this